ladies and gentlemen, I give to you A Tale of Two Sceneries. Shall we join this? Hit that like, by the way. Let people know we're here. And this is Joe Biden's campaign launch speech on the anniversary of Jan 6 today. And I at some point the Republicans are going to go, not enough flags. How dare he outflag us? You can't, we own the flag. You don't own the flag with your genuine patriotism instead of our rancid bullshit passing at it. I mean, that is some serious flagellization there going on. Look at that. Red, white, and blue lighting across the top like the bicentennial episode of Knight Rider. Fuck, man. He should just buy the rights to the Lee Greenwood song. Just because I'm pretty sure Greenwood doesn't own the publishing anymore, right? And just have somebody, have Taylor Swift cover it. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And then have everybody, have black people, doing jazz dancing around it, and all the RuPaul Drag Race winners of the year performing. just everything you can do. What are these? Oh, this is the line of all the maggot triggers. Oh, can we just flick them all? That just They should just get a bluegrass band. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And then did I say that right for me, and I gladly stand up. And that's today. Fuck, how do they out rural us? God damn it. I used to like that song too. It's a shame. I remember the first time I saw the video for Proud to be an American, or whatever the fuck the actual song name is. And I was like, who knew that Yakov Smirnoff could sing, right? So yes, it's a great speech. I recommend you watch it. It's, it requires no commentary from me. Pretty straightforward, speech about the direction, that kind of stuff, old fashioned, whatever. Meanwhile, Trump is in Iowa. I'm just saying, there's the Iowa flag, there's the American flag, and then there's the Donald Trump whatever the shit. This is Iowa is Trump country sign, right? He's in Sioux Center, Iowa, which he thinks is another town. And let me show you this real quick. Man, are we on Nunt Watch? Lord, I have a hard time looking at it. God damn it. It's like somebody's pet pig had testicular cancer and they couldn't afford the fucking faux testicles to eat. Ew. I mean, good Lord. I guess, Ozempic, deflating your neck, it's not gross. All right. It's like a whale's blowhole. Just breach. God. And he thinks holding his chin out there will make sure you don't see it. But look at that. Whoa! It's ew. There's so many things going through my head right now that I absolutely am not gonna say. I'm just saying that I cannot. I'm done. Shit. Let's okay. And we gotta pull the plug on the nut jokes. This is gonna get really bad. Boy. Anyways, again, he's doing the and proud to shmee doogie boogie boo. I'm just like he's waiting for a fucking bus. Glazed as fuck, by the way, today. If you look at his eyes, he's got that bloodshot glazed look like he just had far too many edibles. Oh no. Did he wait? What line did he sing? Hold on. He started doing one of the lines. When he starts walking over, did he miss the cue or? Oh, he just did the SA part. He left the U part out.
Thank you very much. Wow.
Wow.
It's a packed house.
Wow. Wow, it's a packed house. Yeah, it's packed everywhere.
Outside, it's packed.
This is a packed house. It's a gymnasium, fuckhead. It's like the Sioux Center in Iowa. Sioux Center, Iowa is the actual place, I'm fairly certain, right? Not the actual, like, Sioux City Center. Say, you got any of that Sioux City sarsaparilla there, Al? Yeah. Yeah, it's totally packed. It doesn't sound at all like a VFW hall or something, or the local Moose Lodge. Thank you very much. Jobs data.
We're going to take our country back.
But first, we're going to return this microphone where we bought it, because shit. Hold on.
Thank you very much. We're going to take our country back. We're going to take our country back.
Yeah. Back to... I guess circa Nixon era. Back to the 1930?
So sad to see what's happening.
Yes, with all those jobs and everything, and like Jerome Powell can't even cut the interest rate because the jobs keep going up. God damn it! Why won't you people stop spending money? Stop eating at restaurants and going to concerts, especially that Taylor Swift bitch. What the hell?
Hello, Iowan. Very, very happy New Year.
Hello, Iowan. There's only one there. Is it all? It's all front row Joes and one Iowan. I'm from here. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
We're going to have a great year. Hopefully, it's going to be one of the greatest years ever. You know why?
Because Biden's in office and you're not. Believe me. One thing we do know: it's not going to be a replay of 2020. The fourth year of Biden is not going to be like the fourth year of Trump. That's for shit straight.
Because in November, it's going to be big. It's going to be bigger than anything's ever happened to this country.
Anything that's ever happened. Revolutionary War, the fucking D-Day, fuck it. The end of the Civil War.
Country, I think it really is of that magnitude. And
it is. It totally is.
I appreciate such a big turnout. We come to...
It's a huge, huge turnout, especially outside.
Even outside, it's packed.
Yeah, I mean, you think it's packed in here. You should see the people who didn't get in, because that's the rest of the people on Earth.
Every little part of this place, and the people are...
Every little part. So you can see the little like, it's little, but we're getting to every little. I'm going to every little. I'm doing every shit gig.
Greater and greater every stop, and we want to hit every corner. And we're really honored to see the crowd, that we had the turnout, that we have your incredible people. You built the...
He's definitely bummed at the size of the place. Why won't Trump's campaign and all the other fuckers turn the cameras around so we can see how big the crowd is? Show the crowd. What are you ashamed of? Oh, the lights went off. Oh, look at that, the media.
This country. He built this country. 10 days from now, the people of this state are going to cast the most important vote of your entire lives. I believe.
No, they're not. It's the Iowa caucuses. It only involves the party members and people who give a fuck anyways. No, they're not.
I believe that too, very much. I used to say that 2016, and I believed it then, and now I...
Wait a minute, asshole. This is a primary. This is the caucus. You said that's November next year, stupid.
Believe this is even much more important. Our country's going...
Or sorry, this year. I'm still writing next year on my thoughts.
Our country's going to hell. You don't mind me using that horrible word, don't you?
Yeah, just as long as you don't say bullshit and motherfucker. You said those before, but hell, oh.
I use that word because our country's really
Because it's going to hell. Because it's, I mean, how do you describe hell? But hell, I mean, it's hell. Hell is indeed hell.
in trouble. It's in trouble like it's never been before, in my opinion. We have.
In my opinion, because I've never been in trouble before, and therefore, and I didn't give a fuck about the rest of you, so you're all in this with me. If I go down, you go down, you sons of bitches. I have national secrets. If I go to jail, I've got a kill switch. Eric's gonna release some documents if he can find them. The dumb, son of, I should have put Ivanka in charge. God damn it.
A man who's grossly incompetent dealing with nuclear war. He's dealing against Russia. He's dealing against President Xi of China.
China.
If you would deal with these people, you'd say it's not a fair fight.
Well, then why is our economy doing great and theirs is eating ass?
Delivering the massive victory. I think it's going to be really a tremendous victory in Iowa because I'm
yeah, it's great. The energy of this.
seeing polls that are phenomenal. But the main thing I got to ask you, look, we got to get out and vote because, bad things happen when you sit back.
Yeah, they're seeing I thought you never seen passion like this before. Why do you even have to tell these motherfuckers? Why do you have to even be? Don't they know if you had twice every time we hear him talk, right? It's just they're so excited. Oh, I've not seen the numbers, but the passion. The passion of the Christ. Hold on, I gotta turn the audio up. That's the loudest I can get on this one. Sorry. Hold on. I might be able to find it elsewhere. Let me see if I can find, because we're going to jump around. He's saying the same shit anyways. I mean, honestly, we'll just pick up here. This is, we're going to check in with Trump. He's speaking in Sioux Center, Iowa. Got any of that, you got any sarsaparilla? Sioux City? That'll do her. I like your style, dude. Last place I worked at, everybody was so dumb there was a sign over the urinal that said, "Do not eat the big white mint." And I'll be goddamn if this guy didn't walk out of the bathroom with a white hockey puck in his mouth every goddamn night. He's rallying his supporters. It's a caucus thing, but whatever.
Between 19 and 24 or 25. I wonder why that is.
Hold on, wait. I don't know what he's leading.
Just perfect for the military, isn't it, huh?
Hold on.
The country's only in South America. They do. They come from.
Oh, I see. This is him talking about the age of people crossing the border. Now, don't trust your lying eyes that show you a bunch of women and kids mostly, and then men along with them. No, it's all military-age males basically wearing body armor.
From the Congo. They come from Africa. They come from.
Oh no, not the Congo and Africa. You know what those people are like.
Asia. Many people from China.
Yeah, totally. China.
They happen to be about the age of this gentleman right here, around 20 for perfect age.
For what? I mean, what did you have in mind?
In his early 20s. Just perfect for the military, isn't it, huh?
Isn't it, huh? They're also perfect for workers, too. That's where they don't have families and they can trek across to another country and try to look for work so they could send fucking money back. That's also perfect age for construction, working at Mar-a-Lago, you dumb fuck.
27,000 people from China, all males, all between 20 and 25.
Yes, because they can't find wives.
Perfect for the military. I wonder what that's all about.
Also perfect for, I guess, starting a tech company or working in the food service industry or any job where you have to stand on your fucking feet all day.
So it's a pretty scary thing. We have them coming in.
Yeah, 25,000 Chinese people. Frightening.
From Russia.
Honestly, what the fuck does he think the Chinese people are coming here are gonna do? I'm dead serious. What is he? Do you think these are gonna be like commie terrorists? Are they gonna infiltrate schools and start, selling? Like, you need a system more like China. You mean the one you escaped? Yeah.
Same thing. They all seem to be between 19 and 24 or 25.
and tight asses and just ripped, and most of them are just fucking cut and they're oiled up, and it's anyways, you know what I'm saying, like this fella.
I wonder why that is. We're gonna be paying a price.
It's like, build a wall. Yeah, it's at that age they can climb right over it. I mean, you know, a wall might keep out your women and little kids, but these guys can scale that fucker. I mean, that's the thing, you know.
But we'll take care of it. If we get in, we're going to be taking care of it. We're going to have no choice but to take care of it. We're not going to have a country.
What does take care of it mean? Explain take care of it.
What?
I'm dead serious. What are you going to do? Mount 50 cals on the top of the motherfucker and track them with body heat and AI for anybody of military age and size immediately just gets a fucking silenced shot through the corpus callosum.
Our middle class is being crushed by Biden's crippling inflation. The inflation has been the worst that
crippling
we've ever had. They say 72 years, sir. Be accurate.
Do they? Also, this idea, his magical team that keeps showing up, they say, sir, don't say that. Sir, don't say this. And sir, say this thing, sir. Always say this thing, which is, I mean, we know the sir stories are bullshit, but the idea that the flip side of this argument is that he hires a bunch of people that tell him stuff and he ignores it anyways. So what the fuck is he doing with your tax dollars if he's that dumb with his hired staff for his campaign? I take all your money that you give me by going to donaldtrump.asshole and you send me the contributions and I put that in a special thing and then I hire people to help me run this campaign who quite frankly can go fuck themselves. I don't listen to them. They're stupid. Not a one of them has a good idea. They're always telling me stupid shit and I always know I'm doing well when I ignore them.
I think it's the worst we've ever had. There's never been anything like this. Food prices have tripled and...
Yeah, no one has eaten in days. Have the food prices tripled?
Every single thing you do, the energy.
Everything you do.
Prices, look at what's happened to energy.
Oh, energy. I don't have it. Even energy drinks are 3 times what they used to be. Not in money, just in content and stuff. What are basically the...
Violent criminals are running wild and Democrats...
Well, that's what they do. I mean, honestly, they're violent criminals. What do you expect them to do? Tiptoe around? I guess some of them are quiet. The ones you have to watch anyways.
Run cities while law enforcement has been weaponized against Christians and conservatives and...
For what? Just being Christian? What do they do? Round you up because you're wearing a cross?
People of faith. It's weaponized against Christians. It's
really against Catholics?
Really weaponized. I don't know how many Catholics are in the room. Maybe not that...
Well, they're all at the Biden thing watching their president.
Many here? Are they? Well, what are we doing with the Catholics? I mean...
What is with the Catholics things or whatever? I don't even know.
They're persecuting Catholics.
Oh, they get them on the rack. It's like an inversion of the Spanish Inquisition.
And then the Catholics, it's 50-50 between Catholics and us.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just the revenge of the Inquisition. You know what I mean? You got a bunch of like Jews and Protestants just stretching Catholics on a rack, just to even things out for equity,
Trump, 50-50. And I say, it's amazing. I got a call from the Cardinal, New York.
Oh, yeah, the Cardinal. The bird that lives there, right?
A very good man. And
he's a good man. The Cardinal, him.
He said, sir.
Sir, I don't usually say sir. I only use that when I'm praying towards the Lord.
This was during the pandemic. He said...
Oh, yeah. Remember when you were president, you mean, and you were fucking things up?
So we need billions of dollars to help us with our education, our schools.
What? I don't know what to tell you. Tough shit. Church and state, motherfucker.
Losing a fortune, and I got him the money. It was very important to get it because they do a tremendous service.
You got him the money? And then Biden came in and went, Catholic schools don't deserve money. Take it back and sue them. Sue these schools. We're taking the money back, folks. Right? It's going to be the new thing, isn't it? How's it going, Lenny?
And they have great schools, but they were hurting badly during that. And I was able to get him the money.
The taxpayer money for the religious schools for the Catholic. So, yeah, you were able to get him religious schools funding from the state, were you? Mm-hmm. And your folks are your other folks are good with that. Your evangelicals are all cool with. Uh-huh.
And then I look at the vote. It's like 50-50. And I say, why? But now they are persecuting Catholics in particular. I don't know what's going on with the Catholics. You guys are.
Well, maybe if you read a story on it, you would know they're not persecuting the Catholics.
Catholic. What's going on with Catholics? Why are they
Yeah, somebody walk up there and explain it to them.
doing this with Catholics? Something's happening. But they're doing it with.
Something's happening. I don't even know what is going on with the whole Catholic. I hear Catholic, people throw the word Catholic around, and
Christians, and they're doing it with parents, and they're doing
parents.
it with a lot of people. And
yeah, they keep like the Biden administration comes in there and they're playing like the song "Parents Just Don't Understand" from 1986.
You explain that one. Let's go and get the parents at the school board meetings.
Is that what I mean? It sounds like something SWAT would say.
That's right.
Yeah, right. Totally.
It's ridiculous.
It is a little ridiculous. Yeah, once you think about it for a second, you're like, this is fucking stupid. But
we have wars in Europe. We have war in the Middle East. And China is threatening Taiwan. Iran is inches away from a nuclear bomb. They're going to have a nuclear bomb. They're saying.
Well, of course they are. It's only inches away. It's right there. I mean, how short are their fucking arms? I don't know. Are Iranians? I haven't seen a bunch of them. Are Iranians? Do they have pterodactyl arms? And you're like, oh fuck. If only we we must get this. If only my arms were normal length, I could. Oh, fuck you, Obama.
34 days. And when we were in charge, Iran was broke. Iran had no money for Hamas. They had no money for Hezbollah. They were broke.
No, they weren't. Or we wouldn't have had to kill Qasem Soleimani, because that was during the time when he created the entire network. Shithead. That's what that means. That was all about. You remember the guy? You were like, the worst terrorist in the world. We got the guy. We got Qasem Soleimani. We got him. So important that we got him. You know why you got him? Because he was the guy in charge of creating the proxies for Iran and coordinating them. Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. Everybody's got an H. Come on now.
Now they're very rich. They have $250 billion, they say, not including the $6 billion they got for a hostage trade.
They didn't get the $6 billion.
We got.
It's crazy. That's nuts. That it's still in a South Korean bank and isn't going anywhere.
Got 5 and they got 5. I said, all right, that's good. That's better than they usually do. Usually, we give up. Well, we gave up the king of terror. With the best.
We gave up the king of terror. I will always be king of terror.
Basketball player, Brittany Griner.
Boo! Getting an American back for the king of terror. Thank you very much. ED. Thank you very much.
We gave up the greatest purchaser of military arms and equipment and very deadly equipment in the.
He's an arms dealer. We gave up an arms dealer. The
history of the world, they say.
No, not even close. No, he was not in the history of the world. Get the fuck out of here.
He was called the Phantom of Death.
Really? Did he walk around like this all the time? Honest to God, I hope Rudy Giuliani gets to play him in the movie because he's already got the look.
So they got him.
The Phantom of Death. Uh-huh.
And we got Brittany.
Who is the Phantom of fucking nothing, I would just like to say. They got a whole Phantom. Not that Phantom, not Billy Zane.
And that was a tough trade.
It was tough, but, it was mid-season, and what are you going to do? You change head coaches, and you're fucked.
It was a tough trade, but, at least she's standing now for the national anthem, I think, but she didn't stand too much. She always wanted to tie her.
She better. What are you going to do?
Her sneakers during.
You better stand for it, otherwise it'll show that you have the freedom to stand or not stand, and then it'll actually mean something. Like the flag. which if you kneel in front of the flag or don't stand or cover your heart during the anthem, it literally just empowers it more, because the whole point is freedom. Even if we don't like the freedom, as long as it doesn't hurt me, I don't have to. And that's what actually makes no. All right.
The national anthem. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. That was the time when she heard the national anthem, that meant it was time for her to tie up her sneakers. I don't like that.
Well, okay. All right. I'm glad you don't like that. It's important. Thanks for letting us know what you like and you don't like, besides, like fish delights. Don't like women in general, unless they're your blood relatives.
But our military has gone woke, and we're teetering on the edge of World War III.
Wait a minute. How are we teetering? I thought we were already in the tubes of hell. How is tubes of hell? We're teetering on the brink of it? All right. Well, that definitely sounds worse than just being on the brink or rapidly approaching the brink.
We've never been closer.
Yeah, we're teetering right now. We have never been. I mean, we were closer before when everybody was talking about it, like when in the pipeline thing, everybody said we were definitely if we were in mid-teeter, I think you could say. I think we were right in the center of Teeter Town.
And we are right now.
Uh-huh.
To World War III.
And you're in Iowa. If this is the closest we've ever been, and we've had a couple of almost, like the Cuban Missile Crisis. We've had a lot of real close calls, bombers in the air. And, if you were important, you'd be in a fucking bunker somewhere, which you aren't.
There's only one candidate in this race who's going to be up to the task of saving America from every single Biden disaster starting on day one. Number one.
He had to read. Presumably that's about him. And he had to read it.
I know the players on the other side, and they always respected your country. I don't want to say they respected me, but boy, did they respect this country when I was in charge.
How do they respect? I guess they respect the country, but they didn't respect you. So they just assumed we would vote you out.
Respected us like they've never
respected us before. I wouldn't say it's because of me, but they never respected us before. That whole greatest generation bullshit. Fuck that.
Like they've never respected us.
Yeah, Panama Canal, eat shit.
Right?
Fuck you, World War II.
You wouldn't have had Ukraine. You wouldn't have had Israel being attacked.
You do realize Israel was attacked every single month he was in office.
Russia wouldn't be attacking Ukraine, but you would.
Ukraine, the disputed territory was a constant battle all during his presidency.
You wouldn't have had the attack on Israel. You wouldn't have had inflation.
Well, yeah, because the economy would have crashed. We would have had deflation, and you can't have inflation unless there's demand. If you don't have demand, because you just let Americans keep dying, because fuck it.
You wouldn't have had any of this stuff. You wouldn't
any of it.
Have China longing to go into Taiwan.
Why would they all of a sudden long for something? And by the way, they're longing to go into Taiwan because it's going to be a long fucking time before they can do it without losing 1 million soldiers in an afternoon.
They're just waiting for the right moment.
Yes, and that moment is at best 30 years away.
Wouldn't even talk about it.
No, they wouldn't talk about it because you were going to give it to them. They didn't have to talk about invading it. You were going to hand it over to them at some point, just like you were going to hand over the rest of Ukraine to Russia. And then, unfortunately for those guys, oops.
They weren't even talking about it, though.
Well, you don't speak Chinese. They mention it all the time. I'm telling you, they were definitely talking about it. They were just talking about it in Chinese.
And they won't be, I promise you that.
Yes, no, they're not going to do it because they're not doing it now.
But with your vote in these caucuses, we're going to finish the job and we're going to get it done. And
get her done! Ooh! Yeah, he said the magic words, man.
We're going to actually be stronger than ever before. It's hard to believe because you see the damage.
Yeah.
That's been done. No president has ever. I often say you can take the 10 worst presidents in the history of our country, you can add them up, put them together, and they haven't done the damage that Joe Biden's done to this country. What he's done to this country is unthinkable. Biden's record is No,
it's quite thinkable. I mean, The stock market's at 37K, fuckhead.
Broken streak of weakness, incompetence, corruption,
And job and wage gains.
failure. Other than that, he's doing quite well, isn't he? Don't you? That's a hell of a list.
That's a hell of a list of words that don't actually be talked
That's a hell of a list, right?
It's right. It's a bunch of words about terrible, terrible, bad, and terrible of all the terrible, terrible things. Other than being terrible, he's terrible.
That's why Crooked Joe is staging his pathetic fear-mongering campaign event in Pennsylvania today. Did you see him? He was stuttering through the whole thing. He's going to, he's a threat to democracy. I'm a threat.
Is that how it went? Did you watch it? Yeah. What do you think the odds are he watched it? What do you think? Think he watched it?
Weaponized government. He's saying, I'm a threat to democracy. He's a threat to democracy. Well, okay. Couldn't read the word. He's a threat to democracy. You know how bad the press is? You know what they do? They take me saying that like that, and they say, Trump couldn't say the word democracy. Look. No, that's what they do. They're so bad.
They are bad. And he's talking specifically about RSBN and his own campaign cameras.
You know, I don't know if you saw it. I was on...
Yeah, the Lincoln Project used you stumbling around.
Sean Hannity, a good guy, really good guy, right?
He's really good. Client number 3, I think is what his friends call him.
And we did a town hall, and he says, tell us, you're not going to be a dictator, right?
Oh, this is the wrong story to go into. This is literally the wrong direction.
I said, Sean, I'm going to be a dictator for one day, for drilling and for closing the border. And after that, I'm not going to be a dictator.
Well, then nothing will stick. What do? Close it for a fucking hour? What do you think's going to happen? What do you do? Write an executive order and then it'll get thrown out? Then nobody will honor it because it's unconstitutional? And also, how do you order companies to drill? They've got 9,000 leases they haven't used yet. What the fuck? How do you make them drill, baby, drill? Well, how does that work? Other than just go, we're going to let you guys go, fuck up where the aquifers are. The places we know there's oil, but if you drill there, it'll probably get into the drinking water. And you give some fucking lunatic at Exxon the go-ahead to drill there. That's it.
So remember the way I said, I'm going to be a dictator for one day, for those two things, and then after that, I'm not going to be. So I said, I'm going to.
Well, then this shit's going to go away the next day, so I'm not worried about it.
I'm going to be a dictator for one day, for drilling, right? For drilling, and then.
For drilling. For drilling. For drilling. For drilling. What is that? Hold on.
Dictator for one day, for drilling, right? For drilling. And
for drilling. I gotta drill. It's like he's doing a fucking Dana Carvey character. We're gonna drill. Keep it drilling. Always drilling. Gotta drill. You gotta do it. Drilling.
And then, so what do they do? What do they do?
Fox?
We say drilling in the border. Then I go, and then after that, I'm not going to be a dictator, Sean, one day. So they have me on the news all over the place. I'm going to be a dictator. Cut. Did you see that?
Did you see that? Oh, all right. No, where Eric got it.
This is the fake news media. They have the first.
Boo. Ah, fuck fake news. Boo.
First part, I'm going to be a dictator. Cut. And they had to cut it fast because I kept it going fast because I know exactly what they do.
Apparently you didn't talk fast enough.
They had me the other day. I was imitating Biden because he can't walk off a stage, right? He can never find the exit. So they had me turning around and looking for them.
And they made it look like it was really me and blah, blah, blah.
You never find. I mean, these stages have a lot of stairs on them. Some of them have 4 or 5 stairs, and he did. He had like so many stairs.
Gee, real quick, here's what you need to do. There's one way on and off stage. You come in the way you go out the way you came in. If you say these stairs have 5 different ways to leave, then why is it fucking weird that Biden in every city, especially where he fucking knows everybody, is like, oh, I think I'll go out this way. Oh, no, we're going this way? Okay, cool. Like, after fucking 6 cities and speeches and all that kind of shit. You kidding me? Lazy.
Couldn't find it. And they showed me that I couldn't find the way off the stage. In other words,
yeah, why didn't they just show you walking down the ramp like fucking Bambi?
they said he couldn't find the way off the stage.
No, they didn't. They put it in the ad of you stammering and talking shit and saying stuff like, whatever, like
de-engineering.
And
They're going to be a country no more. I actually think it will not. It will be a country no more.
And shit like
Michigan gave us Motown. Gave us Motown. Gave us the Mustang. Here I am like an idiot.
that they showed that stuff, and then they showed you stammering around, and the point was, how dare he make fun of Biden for supposedly not knowing his way off a stage when he's talking like that the entire time.
And it's just terrible. They're so bad. You guys are so dishonest. You're so pathetic. That's why they're all going out of business, I'll tell you.
Yeah, RSBN is not doing well. That's true.
They are just so pathetic.
Oh, they're so pathetic. It's terrible.
Who wants people coming in from foreign countries?
I know.
And you know, it's so important. Having an honest media is so important.
It
but
is.
They just aren't. And it's a lot of times what they don't say. It's not only what.
Yeah, what they.
He can do things with his tongue you wouldn't believe it.
I know.
What they say, it's what they don't say. But so I.
It is more what they don't say than what they say. Like the stuff you say they said that they didn't say. That's very telling. Fake news, man.
I have to be very careful with sarcasm because I'm a little sarcastic sometimes.
No. No, you cover lies with sarcasm, and it makes no sense.
And you say something, and everybody there is laughing, having a good time, but they put it on as though you mean it. You know, it's.
Yeah, give us an example.
So you can't have any fun during these rather terrible times if you think.
Yeah, and usually this is the best time to have fun is during rather terrible times. I mean, the country's going to hell. Why even bother being sarcastic? Why? I mean, what's the point of being passive-aggressive in times like these?
Think about it. Because Biden, I mean, if you take a look at what he's doing on the border, or inflation, or our military, that horrible day in Afghanistan, you look at what he's.
You mean the last day? You mean the day he actually got us out? You mean the fact that we have not been in Afghanistan since the first year of Biden's presidency? After 21 fucking years.
Done with energy all throughout the world, we're an embarrassment as a country. We become.
No, not really. Of all the countries you like and seem to tout or whatever, we're the only one that doesn't have triple-digit inflation.
Become an embarrassment as a country. The only reason Biden is at Valley Forge abusing George Washington's legacy. I mean, he's abusing Washington's legacy, and he never.
Yeah, he's wearing his wooden teeth. He's got the wig on. They're reenacting the falling of his favorite soldier.
Never sticks up for Washington. You know, they've taken the name George Washington off many schools and many different. Can you believe it?
No, they haven't.
The name George Washington is coming down from many schools, many
schools, like George Washington Carver Community College and George Jefferson Washington. They took that one down. It's just so sad.
In California, and he ought to stop that.
Yeah, George Washington should come back from the grave and put a stop to
But
that.
it's a legacy to. It's really a.
Also, you can't, I guess, unless you want to put a lot of money into the Department of Education, and the Department of Education can run the schools, and then you can call them whatever the fuck you want. You can call them freedom schools like an asshole if you want, but otherwise you have no fucking say. These are local.
Slander and a horrible statement he's making to 75 million Americans. That's what they say. It's much more than that. You saw the numbers that came out yesterday on the election. Everybody saw those numbers. They were released. The fake news doesn't want to talk about them.
What numbers is he? Oh, is he talking about that like printout that he's bullshitting about? Okay, let me show you something real quick. And God damn it, it was so nice. CSL put this in the in with the list of stuff. That's right. Let's see if I can find it real quick. There it is. Yeah, this shit. He put out this report, and there's his post. So you can read it for yourself at this link. There it is. So I read this whole thing, and if you'll notice, there's a title page, but there's no sort of attribution. There's no header. There's no footer. It's just fucking posted. And by the way, horse shit. But all this goes through we lost it. It was this margin, blah, blah. And a lot of these things, like here's Fox News election night, when, it's attributed because they called it for Arizona, right? And they shouldn't have, or some shit. The final swing state, Arizona, was fraudulently called for Joe Biden by Fox News before the. Okay, that's not an attribution, an attribution or a footnote. That's your opinion. It's so stupid. Like, it goes on like that. It is a fraud to conceal a fraud, right? Well, that's why Trump's gonna lose in New York, fuckhead. So he goes to this whole business about how they reused, because they had to do so many votes ahead of time. They had to reuse machines they had used in-person machines to do the early vote because of COVID. So they took the cards out of them, and then they put new cards in them on actual voting day. Once early voting was over, they took the cards out, put them aside, put a new one in the machine, and then used them on the day, because they didn't have, Georgia traditionally doesn't have enough, historically does not have enough machines to go around. And that's been one of the problems for a very long time. And the Republicans aren't interested in fixing it all that much. So but there were so many people voting early that they used the ones you would use in a voting booth in the offices you could come to and vote in early, right? And that normal swap out wouldn't happen during a regular election, but because of COVID, that's how it happened. And they're like, this breaks the rules. And okay, the governor, because it's an emergency, has the right to say, we're going to use these machines to do the early voting because there's such a huge early voting turnout. That's it. Will AI affect voting? No. Anyways, it's just, I went through the whole thing. It is so fucking lame. And my favorite part of it, though, maybe I'll show you this. Let's see. There's a ton of IBIDs in here, which is basically they're just using the same attribution, in place attribution. We already gave a thing that said that this was from it. So they're using the same source multiple times and just kind of throwing back to it. And all of it's from people who had their shit thrown out, their court cases thrown out, which were nonsense. I saw trucks coming in with ballots. Really? Do you have any pictures of that? Do you have proof of it? Was it in the recount? Did you see any of that shit? No. Will you sign an affidavit and come into court and present that to the court? No. Right. Same shit. And this whole the risk limiting audit spreadsheet analysis. This is all this thing about statistically, it never happens like this. And that's not proof. Just because your dude is spectacularly unsuccessful and we're in a pandemic. Yeah.
He said, we love him. We love the job. We love the job he did for the farmers, for the whole state. But let's sit home and watch it. Maybe it'll be a little bit cold that night or a little bit rainy.
Darling.
So important that we get out and vote and really show the strength, because
you can't just sit back.
You have to slab it.
That's absolutely true. You totally have to.
Asshole.
Right.
The only way we can get hurt is if you sit home and
Oh, sorry. This is quieter. I'm sorry. This is the Trump version, right? Yeah. I'm in the wrong place.
But it's a disgrace what happened in 20.
Totally a disgrace that happened. Don't let this hand position fool you. I am macho as fuck.
2020. It's a disgrace, and everybody knows it.
No. Well, it's a disgrace that you were running and you were actually one of the candidates in a country as important as the United States, I think. Yeah.
I think they have 81% of the people understand that. But he knows he can't show his face at the Southwest border.
81%. He thinks he won 81% of the vote when he lost. Not even when in the election he won. Good Lord.
Or in East Palestine, Ohio, where I love those people. They were great people. I went there.
They were, and now they're gone.
There early when they had
You went there early.
that really bad situation.
What was it? What happened in East Palestine?
And
Why are you pronouncing it like Berenstein?
he went to the auto workers' factories. He's given away our auto business to China, mostly to China. You could sit down if you want. Go ahead.
Yeah, sit down. This is going to go on for a long time.
Go ahead. See, I'm not kidding with those people that sit and you can't stand up in the front, right? But thank you very much. But, people are waiting for 3-4 days in these things. That's cold out there. That's a long wait, right? It's pretty cold out there.
Yeah, you don't wait 3-4 days for a rally to be in the front row of it if you're fucking from there. Again, that's where I call bullshit on the whole. People are, I don't know, whatever. He's rallying his supporters. Hold on. Where's the, it's this.
Even outside, it's packed.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am like an idiot.
Jesus.
I said, where's my coat? I had to walk 15 feet from the car to the... I said, you have a coat? And these people are waiting for 3 days. So.
I don't... This is... I guess he's trying to compliment the locals for being stout.
Oh, that's good. That means you're hardy. You're hardy.
Right.
People, you're...
Sorry, not stout. Hardy.
Strong people. Thank you. Thank you very much. But if you take a look, Crooked Joe
if you juke
cannot talk about a single issue that matters to hardworking Americans. Because
not a single one. Not manufacturing, not infrastructure, not gas prices coming down, not inflation coming down, not having a recession, not the Goldilocks economy that seems to, all the is baffling economists everywhere. You can't.
Because he's failed you and he's betrayed us on every single issue, and on policy, he's the worst ever. And
worst ever in policy.
People have known that for a long time.
Yeah, they've known it for a long time. That's why they elected him to be that awful.
Secretary of States have said he doesn't know what he's doing.
And yet, you lost to him. What does that say about you?
Obama said it. A lot of people said it, but he doesn't know.
But he's kicked your ass.
What he's doing. You look at what's happening in the Middle East. You look at what's going on with Ukraine. He doesn't.
Never would have happened if you were proven negative.
Know what he's doing. Biden and the radical left Democrats lie to us because they know that Americans can't stand the truth about them because they know how badly they're doing.
I don't quite know what that sentence was, but
they are doing so badly. They start off with
how badly are they doing?
With a base. Because people said, a friend of mine called up, we're leading by 11 in a number of places. Now, 11's a lot, but a friend of mine called up, how come you're only leading by 11? This guy can't put two sentences together. I said, well, they start off with a base like about 39. He's at 38, so that's interesting. It's hard to be at 38 as a Democrat. But Republicans have to do it the old-fashioned way. We have to earn every one of them.
Yeah, that's why the Electoral College favors you guys, because you have all these fucking states with less people than a subdivision.
But they have a base. I won't exactly tell you what that base is, but we all...
I don't know. Yeah, keep it a secret. Yeah, don't tell us.
All know what that base is.
Yeah, but I guess so you can tell us.
Have certain people that are going to vote Democrat almost no matter what. But
almost, obviously. There's the TYT crowd who will vote for you and then pretend that they actually care about women's rights and gay rights and healthcare and schools and poverty and all that kind of stuff. But they're like, fuck it. The whole thing has to burn down. Susan Sarandon or bust. Right, yeah, of course.
Tell you the union part of that base is coming to us. The union part.
No, it isn't.
And also tell you another. The Hispanic part is coming to us at level.
Oh, so the border thing maybe benefits Republicans. So maybe that's why Republicans aren't voting or aren't voting to close the border,
Levels that nobody's ever seen before. We're leading with Hispanics. That's never happened before.
No, you're doing better than before, but that's because of pro-life issues.
And African American is coming to us at a level that
singular. And African, you sure you didn't say an African American?
I don't think any Republican has seen because they understand that this man is not capable. He's not a capable person. I mean, if you
He's capable of kicking your ass.
had a store and you wanted to take a week off, you wouldn't put him in charge of the store. No, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't put you in charge of the store either. Fuck do you know about a store? Fuck, you would have been bounced off The Apprentice in episode 1.
Would you trust him to run your store? I don't
I would trust you around my female employees, you fuck.
think anybody would. That's a little question. It's a little, thing. If you have a
Yeah, it's a little thing.
store, would
Yeah, do if you have a store, how do stores run? Tell us about how stores work.
you trust the President of the United States to run your store? He couldn't do it. This election is our last chance to save.
Yeah, neither could you. You can't outsource it. You can't bring in other people. You don't get a staff.
America, very important. The battle
So important.
begins in Iowa on January 15th, and Joe Biden's
Jesus Christ, is a Trump bobblehead that's molesting a fucking flag? What is he doing? Wiping his semen on it? That's gross.
Banana Republic ends on November
I'm kidding. He can't produce.
5th, 2024. And I believe,
The children are our future.
because the stock market's doing okay for the last 6 months, but I
The last 6 months.
believe the reason is because we're leading in all the polls. I think
Yeah, that's
if
why.
we weren't, the stock market would be going down at a level that you haven't seen. And I think if we don't win, I think you're going to end up in a stock market like you had in 1929, not a
Yeah, but you said that when you lost, and it didn't happen.
recession, a depression. I believe that.
It didn't even happen when you said everything was the worst it's ever been. At the height of inflation, it didn't crash.
I have to say it. I really believe you're going to end
No, you don't.
up in a depression.
No, you don't. If you really believe that, you would take all your money out of the stock market. You wouldn't have stocks right now.
You take a look at what these people are doing, how they're wasting all this money on the Green New Scam. It's called the Green New Scam.
Why is it a new scam then if it's been around for a long time?
It's horrible.
It's horrible. Why don't you call it the Green New Horrible then?
Horrible, horrible.
Call it the Green New Horrible, Horrible, Horrible.
With your help, we're going to bring our country back from disaster. Our country's a disaster.
It's just a disaster now? Are we on the brink of a disaster? We're in the disaster. It's a disaster. Let's just call it a disaster. Okay.
Laughed at all over the world. Since 2016, you and I have been in this battle side by side. I mean,
No, yeah, not really. They obviously they're not allowed at your private golf resorts. How much do you golf in Iowa? Some, you'd have to. I'd imagine there's some golfing there, right?
we won twice, and we're going to win a third time. We're going to win by more now, they say. We're
No, you lost. You lost last time. You're going to lose next time,
going to
too.
win by more in terms of November. We're going to win
Nope.
by more than we
Fuckhead, you're at 50% in your own party. You might lose New Hampshire at this rate.
did even the first two times, and we won nicely. We won very nice. Look, I did get you $28 billion in
Oh, this is fucking bullshit. We're like, I paid for your votes. You owe me.
all fairness, right?
No, not in all fairness. Also, Iowa is not where all the fucking farmers are. There's not like the Farmers League.
Who the hell else would get you $28 billion from China? The farm.
Nobody, because they wouldn't have started the trade war about that shit in the first place. They would have singularly put it on manufactured goods, not on foodstuffs. There's no fucking point.
Farmers of America. I say the farmers of America are not voting against Trump.
Yeah, they are.
They're all smiling like this. They opened us big. Remember, I said, here's what you do. We're going to take
Here's what you do. Go buy more
a
equipment.
little while with China, but we're going to end up winning the negotiation.
And you didn't.
And we're going to make a great trade deal.
Yeah, how'd the trade deal go?
I don't even talk about that trade deal.
Because it was
I
terrible.
talk about USMCA. I talk about all the many trade deals I made. And
But I don't talk about the agricultural sales part of the trade because I shit the bed, right?
redid because you had such crazy deals. I used to say, who makes these deals? They're so bad. But I don't talk about China. But China was probably the biggest of them all.
Nope.
$50 billion they have
Nope.
to buy. They used to buy.
They 50. Let's should we take a look at this, kids? Hold on one second. Let's see. Let's see. There's a couple things. One, we'll go to this one. Is that one? Let's see. No. Yeah, here you go. This will be more direct. Here you go. Yep, there we go. China misses trade targets it promised to Trump. China fell more than $213 billion short of its commitment to increase purchases of U.S. goods and services that it made to then-President Donald Trump in 2020, according to a report released Tuesday. $213 billion. The commitment was made in what's known as the Phase 1 deal, in which Beijing promised to purchase $200 billion more in American exports than it had in 2017 before a U.S.-China trade war began. Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping both stopped escalating tariffs after the deal was signed. The deal required China to meet its purchase commitments by the end of 2021. While China was never on track to meet the target number, a new report from the Peterson Institute for International Economics, which sounds like a fucking Marxist commie thing with liberals and commies in it, gives the first complete picture of how much was purchased over the 2-year period. Ultimately, China bought only 57% of the U.S. exports it had committed to purchase under the agreement, according to the report, which analyzed new trade data from the Department of Commerce. China bought none of the additional $200 billion of exports Trump deal had promised. None. Fucking none. Good Lord. The COVID-19 pandemic slowed trade around the globe just weeks after the deal was signed, making it even harder for Beijing to meet its purchase commitment. By the way, when it comes to foodstuffs, they desperately need it. China imports 80% of their fucking food. 80%. A country that big. You should be making at least 50% of your fucking food, right? Thank you, CSL. That's one of the reasons why America doesn't have to sweat it in tough times. Well, we had excess to sell, and sell it, Trump did. But experts had been skeptical from the start that China would be able to meet the ambitious purchase commitments, which set specific amounts for different categories, including manufacturing, agriculture, services, and energy. After roughly 18 months of tariff escalation that nearly halted trade from some U.S. exporters, relationships with Chinese buyers were frayed and had to be rebuilt. Plus, the deal left tariffs in place, keeping the prices of U.S. goods elevated. Farmers, who were hit particularly hard by the trade war, saw agricultural exports to China return to 2017 levels, but they still fell short of China's commitment. Soybeans, for example, fell more than 30% short of the target. The Trump administration made about $28 billion in aid payments to help farmers hurt by the tariffs stay afloat. White House National Economic Council Director Brian Deese told CNN's New Day on Wednesday that the White House is concerned that China hasn't lived up to its commitments. He blamed some of China's failure on the flawed nature of the trade agreement. We think it's feasible and practical to make them live up to their agreements, but also reset the trade relationship. Deese said the Biden administration will focus on areas where Chinese action is posing strategic threats to our economy. Biden left the tariffs in place, by the way. The ones that were still in place when Trump left. He never removed them, even after the trade deal was signed. So the premise was that there wouldn't be. China promised Trump a better deal for America. Hold on, let me shrink this down for you. It didn't actually deliver. The world's eyes have been glued to an epic competition that has been unfolding in Beijing between globe's leading contenders. The contest is fierce, and if it's anyone, guess who will emerge victor? No one's talking about the Winter Olympics. We're talking about the ongoing trade war between the United States and China. Trade war is now almost 4 years old. In 2018, President Trump fired the first shots by imposing tariffs on various Chinese products. China retaliated, imposing tariffs on American products. The war kept escalating, with each side making their tariffs higher and more expansive. Then, in January 2020, the timing was fucking spectacular. President Trump met with Chinese President Liu He at the White House, and they both signed the Phase 1 trade deal. Think of it basically as a trade armistice. It prevented the war from escalating further, and it offered a roadmap for the two global powers to potentially become trade buddies again. Right before COVID. Look at that shit. All right. Chad Bone, Chad Bown, has been following the trade war closely. He's a senior fellow at the Peterson Institute. That's the trade talk about. He says that from the beginning, the Phase 1 trade deal was pretty weird. The strangest part, Bown says, was a provision that instructed China to buy an extra $200 billion of American-made stuff. That is, not only did China have to return to buying the amount of stuff it had bought before the trade war, it had to go above and beyond that. $200 billion above and beyond that. And it had to do so in 2 years by the end of 2021. We had never seen a trade agreement like that before. Now that it's 2022 and China's deadline to buy boatloads of American-made stuff has passed, Bound recently crunched the numbers to see how China ended up in actually buying. In the end, China actually bought none of the additional $200 billion of exports that it promised in the agreement. Zilch. Nada. And that includes the fact that, China needs fucking food. Yeah, right. P.S. Rip petrodollar. It's a great deal. Nothing happened from it. Literally, the whole trade war and using, buying off the farmers and stuff, they never got a benefit out of it. All they did was got a bunch of stress for a couple of years. They got subsidies for a little bit, and then they went right back to fucking 2017 numbers. It was all useless. None of it was worth it. Didn't change a fucking thing. And agricultural goods is the one thing that we don't have to worry about selling them. We're not worried about people in China having full bellies. We just don't want them to have AI and military tech. We don't want them to steal that shit.
10, 12, 50 billion they had to buy. Now,
again, it's in the first 6 months, and it didn't happen. They got 13 billion of it, and it was food they needed anyways.
I don't know if they're watching it, because I don't think Biden's going to enforce anything, because China pays them a lot of money, Yeah.
He's going to be saying the same shit